I want to start with a question. How is it that in the age of mass media, where generally we know whatever is happening in any part of the world, how is it that in such an age, a genocide continues to take place for over 5 months? How is it that despite the global outrage, the widespread condemnation, the majority of the citizens of the globe taking to the streets and protesting against this genocide, that it has yet not been stopped? One of the main reasons for this is that the major powers give lip service to committing to the tenets of justice and upholding the tenets of justice. They give lip service to upholding their own agreements, their own treaties, their own resolutions, and their own covenants. As Muslims, we know that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, set himself apart, where in his example we see the lengths to which he went to uphold his commitments and to remain true to the treaties that he signed, and that he kept to account the betraying tribes of Mecca and Medina who violated treaties and covenants. We take inspiration from a well-known statement of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he said that even if my beloved daughter Fatima was to commit a crime, she would be punished like everyone else. And in that, he was highlighting that there's no two standards of justice. There's no one standard for the elite or the powers that be and another standard for the rest. These nations that claim to be the architects of the global system, they are betraying humanity. They are betraying humanity by not upholding the tenets of justice, by not upholding these agreements, covenants, and resolutions. They use double speak about upholding the law when it suits them, and then they become vague and evasive when it's conducive or when it serves their own political and economic interests. So this brings me to a point where we have to pay tribute. Justice demands that when we have to be critical of the ruling party and the government in the interest of South Africans, then we do so and we will continue to do so. But justice equally demands that when acknowledgement is due, it must be given in due proportion. Minister Pando, on behalf of the Jamiatul Ulama South Africa, on behalf of the Muslim community, on behalf of every peace-loving and justice-seeking citizen of not only this country and this world, thank you. You, your colleagues in your cabinet, the ruling party, the president, have done not only us South Africans proud, you have shown the world the way at the time when the Palestinians have been betrayed by their own neighborly and brotherly states. History, Allahu Akbar, history, and more importantly, the Almighty will inshallah judge you very favorably for this. This ICJ case is significant. Yes, we know the genocide continues, but the language has started to change even in the capitals of these Western nations that shown unconditional support. It's a start only, but it's an important start. It's an important start. We are not oblivious to the realities of the agendas of the imperial forces. And we know that you have taken this morally courageous stance at great political and economic risk, but you've taken the stance nonetheless. And for that, we have to once again salute you. Our hope is in this, that these nations will continue to dishonor their commitments and to break the law and to violate treaties, but they will lose as long as we remain committed to the quest for peace and justice. That's the system of the Almighty, and that is what history shows us time and again. It may take a while, but justice always prevails. Let me say this in conclusion, Honorable Minister, and I want to express the sentiments of the speaker before me. I know there are technicalities, I know there are legalities, but we appeal to our government. We need to fast-track the process now. of holding those accountable to go and fight and contribute militarily or economically via our own banks to this genocide. We need to fast track holding them legally to account. We need to look at defective policy like the so-called spy bill, which could open up the doors for legitimate activism for justice to be stifled in the name of the law. Let me say this as I conclude. I know, Honorable Minister, Premier, that we are in election season, and we make an appeal to the ruling party and to the government that lead us in upholding the principles of justice here in South Africa as well, by becoming true servants of the people, by rooting out corruption and incompetence from your own ranks, and by speeding up the process. And by speeding up the process, Honorable Minister, for ensuring a better life for all South Africans 30 years after democracy. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.